Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
So friends, let's take some demonstration in Visual Studio Code. Friends, this is a simple example that displays switching between screen. This is my main screen, right? Now when I click on this, you can see that it moves to center of the screen, which is displayed in a second screen. So it creates simple animation effect. When I click on this, it will again go back to main screen, and from main screen I can go back to second screen, which displays this image in center of screen. So let us try to understand how this works. Whenever I click on this main screen image, it will navigate me to second screen using push method, and when I click on this, it will navigate me back to the main screen using pop method. So let us try to understand this code. Here is my code. This is import package which imports material.dart file so that we can use material design. This is my main function which calls run app, and inside that we display main app widget. Main app is a stateless widget, meaning it does not hold any mutable state. It acts as the top level widget that wraps the entire application. Inside main, I define its constructor. This is a class main which extends stateless widgets. This is a constructor, and inside build method I return constant material app with title transition demo, and inside home I specify main screen that you can see here. This is a main screen. This is my main screen class which extends stateless widget, and this is its constructor. Now inside build method I write down return scaffold. Inside app bar I want to display title with text main screen that you can see here. This is my main screen. Now this is a gesture. When I click on this or touch this, so here I implement gesture detector. So inside body I write down gesture detector. So gesture detector makes any widget respond to gesture such as tap, right? Inside body I implement gesture detector, and on tap I write down navigator.push. The first argument is always contact, and second argument is page where we want to navigate. So here I write down material page route, and inside that I pass builder which returns my detail screen. Inside main screen I define child hero. Now what is hero? Hero widget enables shared element transition between screen. Now Flutter automatically animates the widgets with the same hero tag from one screen to another. So here I define child hero, and inside that I tag image hero, which uniquely identifier used on both screen. The child widget inside the hero is the what will animate. Now in this case an image fetch from URL. So here I write down child image.network which fetch this image from network. So this is all about my main screen. Main screen displays hero tag with image from network, and whenever we tap on that it will push me to the second screen. Now let us understand detail screen. So detail screen extends stateless widgets. Again inside that we define our constructor. This is my constructor, and inside that I override build method which have same coding like previous one. So it returns scaffold. Inside body we write down gesture detector, and on tap we write down navigator.pop, and inside that we pass argument context. Now what this navigator.pop will do, it removes the current route from the navigation stack so that the last screen, which is a detail screen, is pop and we go back to main screen. So this is how it works. And inside that in center we again display hero tag with same tag name image hero, and inside that we define same image, but this time we want to display that image in center. So here I write down child center, and inside that I define hero widget, and inside that we have to use same tag, and inside that we display image from network. So whenever we click on that image, pop the detail screen and send me back to main screen. Let us once again check. So when I click on this is my main screen. So this gesture detector detects tab. Now it push me to the detail screen. This is a detail screen, and this is how this image is displayed using this code. Right now I am in detail screen, right? So whenever I tap on this, it call navigator.pop. Detail screen is removed from stack, and we again come back to main. So this is how this code works. So I hope you understand pushing and popping. Whenever I called push method, it redirect or navigate me to second screen, and if I pop on that screen, it return me back to my previous screen. So this is how we can switch between or navigate between first and second screen. Now let us take another example. So let me run this code inside emulator. So in this example, again we use push and pop method. Here you can see this is my first screen, right? And this is my first screen with title first root, and here is a one button with title or caption open root. Now whenever I click on this, it will open second root, that is a page or screen. So here you can see it open second root, and there is a go back button in second root. So whenever I click on this, it again return me to the first root. So it behaves exactly like previous example, but this time we use elevated button to move between screens. So you can easily understand this example. This is my import package statement which imports material.dart library. Then there is a main function. Inside that I call run app, and inside that I pass material app, title, navigation basics, and inside home I set first root as my home widget. So first root is a class that extends stateless widgets. This is my constructor, and inside build I display in app bar first root, that you can see here. First root is displayed using this app bar. Now inside body, in center of screen, we want to display one elevated button. So here inside body I write down center to display this elevated button in center, and inside center I provided child, which is a elevated button. Text is open root, and whenever it is pressed, what we want to do? We want to open second root or second page. So here I write down navigator.push. The first argument is always context. Second argument is a root or page where we want to navigate. So here I write down material page root, and inside that I provided argument builder, and that builder opens second root. So here I write down second root. And how this second root is defined? So it again extends stateless widgets. This is its constructor, and here we override build method. Inside that we return scaffold, and inside app bar we display second root, that you can see here. And inside body we have one elevated button in center of screen with caption go back. So here I write down center, and inside that I define child elevated button. And whenever this button is pressed or tapped, what we want to do? We want to move back to previous screen. So here I call navigator.pop, and inside that we have to specify context. It will pop out this second root or second page and navigate me back to first root or first page. So this is how we can use push and pop method of navigator class to switch between one screen to another screen. Now let us take another example. Here in next example we will use root to better organize our code. So you can define number of roots that we have already discussed in previous session. So according to root it will redirect me to other page. Now let us try to understand this code. Now here you can see this is my first screen, the elevated button with caption launch screen, and whenever I click on this, it will redirect me to second screen, and whenever we click on go back button, it again move back to first screen. And in case there are no root found or no pages found which is defined in root, then it shows error page that we will see later on. Now let us try to understand how this works. So here you can see, first we have to import package material.dart, then we have to define main method, and inside main we pass material app, its title is name root demo, and here we have to define initial root. Now what is initial root? Initial root is a page where you want to land or start your app. So initial root is a page from where app starts. So the app starts with this root when launches. So whenever app is launched, it will first display initial root. Now we have to define all the pages that is part of your app inside roots. So inside roots, first I define slash. What is slash? It is my initial root or initial screen. So here I specify first. So whenever app starts, it displays first screen that you can see on the screen. Another page is second screen. So I write down slash second, which refers to second screen. So here I specify second screen. Now what is second screen? Again it is a widget that we want to display, right? So this is how you have to define all the pages in your app one by one, and using these root you can open this second screen, and using slash you can open your first. Now after initial root and roots, we have to define on unknown roots. Now what is on unknown root? We have already discussed, whenever some page is not found, it will redirect me to some page which displays that the page you have requested not found. So this is a used for defining that if the user navigates to a route that is not defined in the on unknown route is called. Now these lets us show a custom 404 style page. Now let us understand first screen. Now inside that we define material page route, and inside that we pass builder which returns not found screen. So we have to define three screen: first screen, second screen, and not found screen. So this is a very simple interface, so we can quickly understand. This is my first screen which extends stateless widgets. Next is constructor for first screen. Then we have to override build method. Inside that I return scaffold, and inside title I display first screen, and inside body in center I want to display this elevated button, and whenever that button is pressed I want to go to second screen. So here instead of push we have used push named. So here I use navigator dot push name, and first argument is always context. Second argument is a simplification of code. So here I write down slash second. What does it mean? We want to open second screen. So whenever I click on this launch screen, it will open second screen, and caption is launch screen that you can see here. Now this is all about first screen. Similarly we have defined second screen. The code remains same. Title is second screen that you can see here. Inside app bar we display title as a second screen. Then there is a elevated button called go back here, and whenever that is pressed we call navigator dot pop. So pop out the second screen and show us first screen, and its text is go back that you can see on the screen. In a first screen instead of second I write down third. Now we have not defined that third inside this root. So what will happen? It will not able to find that root which is a third. So it will automatically navigate me to error page. Let us hot reload this code. Now we go to first screen, and now we open this launch screen, but this time it will try to open third page which is not exist. So it will redirect me to error page that you can see here. So this is a not found screen we call when we try to open page using navigator.push name that is not exist. So here we define class not found screen which extends stateless widgets. Inside that we define constructor, in next line and we override build method. Here we just want to display plain text message in center of screen. So here I write down return scaffold. Inside app bar we display error page that you can see here. So app bar displays title error page, and in body we define in center of screen a text that shows the page you requested is not found, that you can see here, right? So we have understand push and pop method and use of roots for better organization of code. Now let us take another example. These example demonstrate how to send your data to another screen or second screen. Here our objective is not only navigation, but we also want to pass some data to news. On screen you can see my app is launching. Now here I display list of items. So there are 10 items that you can see on the screen. Suppose I am clicking on third item, it will open detail page where we display this is item 3. So this caption item 3 is also displayed as a title text in a second screen or detail screen, and we also display that item details in a body of details. Let us understand these codes. So here you can see I define one class item. Now it has a two data, title and description. So here you can see both are of type string. This is my constructor. So inside constructor I have to pass title and description. Now next we define main method. So inside main what we do, we call run app method. Inside run app I provide material app widget with title passing data, and inside home I set item screen which actually displays list of items. So the home screen of the app is item screen. We are passing list of 10 items generated dynamically. Inside item screen, I provided items using list.generate method. Number of items is a first parameter which is 10 in this case, and for each index we provide item. Now what is item? It has a two part that you can see here, title and description. Inside item I provided two data. First is a title as a item 1 and its description is this is item 1, that you can understand. So title will be item 1, item 2 and so on, and description will be this is item 1, this is item 2 and so on. So this is how our list is generated dynamically. Now let us try to understand item screen. Item screen is a class which extends stateless widgets. This is my constructor. Inside item screen I created list of items with name items. So that is why here we provided item as a constructor. So here we define its constructor and items is a required attribute. So we pass these items to constructor. Now here you can see this is my build method. Inside that I write down return scaffold. Inside app bar I display list of items that you can see here. Inside body we have to create list view. So using list view dot builder we created this list of items. So what is item count? It is a 10. Now for each index in the list we build a list tile to display it on screen. So using item builder we create list tile, and inside list tile what we want to display is item 1, item 2 and so on. So here inside text I provided item at particular index. For example, item 0's title. So what is that? Item 1. Item 1 title is item 2 and so on, because index starts from 0 and we want to display from 1. So we add 1. Now whenever this item is tapped, say for example item 1, we want to open second screen. So on tap we write down navigator.push. Now first is a context always, and second is a page that we want to open. This time we not only navigate or open page, but we want to pass these argument. In second argument, I provide material page route. Inside that, we write down builder, which returns details. But in detail screen constructor, I provided that item at particular index. For example, item 3 is index 2, item 2 is index 1, and item 1 is at index 0. So that item is passed to details. So this is a first approach to pass argument to second screen using its construct. Now let us understand second screen, which is a details. So here is a detail screen which extend stateless widgets. This is constructor. Now it has a two parameters. First is a key which is passed to its superclass, and second is a item which is a required. So whenever you call its constructor, you must provide item. And what is item? Item selected from the list. So here is a item object which receives item from item screen or main screen. Now this is my build method which returns scaffold, and inside app bar I display that title. For example, here you can see in app bar we display item title which is item 3. So here you can see this item is received from first screen and its title is displayed in app bar. We can say we have passed data from item screen to details. Now inside body I want to display tag which is a item description. So here I define padding set to 16 pixel from each border, and my child is a single text which describes or displays item description. So I hope you understand how to pass data from one screen to another using construct. Now let us take another example. Now sometimes what happens, we not just want to pass data to second screen, but we want to also receive data from second screen to first. So that is called returning data from second screen to first. So now we take example which demonstrate these functionality. We will not only navigate to second screen, but whenever that second screen is popped, we will receive some data in main. So let us try to understand that example. Now let me run this inside my emulator. So now you can see on the screen that it is a example of returning data from second screen. So here we display one elevated button which displays pick an option, any option. So whenever I click on this, it displays two elevated button in a second screen. Now we want to know which button is pressed. Whatever action taken by user in second screen, we want to display that inside main. Suppose I am clicking on yep, not only pop me to home screen, but it also displays in snack bar that option. Suppose I am clicking on NOP, at bottom you can see in snack bar it displays NOP. So I am clicking on pick an option. Whenever yep is clicked, pop me and display snack bar yep. And when I click on NOP, it again pop and display NOP in snack bar in main screen. So let us understand these code. So this is a import statement which imports material.dart file. Then we have main function. Inside main, I write down material app and title is returning data, and in home I set home. So you can say this is my home screen. Now let us understand home screen. So home screen is a landing page of the app. It contains app bar and selection button we get in the center that you can see on the screen. So here I define home screen which extend stateless widgets. This is my constructor, and here I override build method and it returns scaffold. Inside app bar I display returning data demo that you can see. Inside body I display in center of screen child selection button. Now why we have separately defined selection button? To simplify the code. Now this is easy to understand. That is the beauty of Flutter. Here inside main we define home screen. Inside home screen we define selection button, but it is implemented separately for better code understanding. So here again selection button is a widget which is a stateful widget. Why? Because we want to maintain state. So here I define its constructor. Then we have to override create state method which returns selection button state of type selection button. So below that I define selection button state which extends state of type selection button. inside that we have to override build method, which is called whenever state is changed. Inside that I return elevated button, and inside on press I call navigate and display selection method. So whenever this button is pressed, it triggers asynchronous navigation method defined by me. So this is a method which implements that functionality, and its text is a pick an option, any option. Let us recall, inside main we call home screen, inside home screen we call selection button, and what is functionality of selection button? It calls these method whenever button is pressed. Now let us try to understand these navigate and display selection method. What this method does? First, open selection screen, that we can understand. Now whenever I am clicking on this, it should open selection screen. Second, it waits for it to return a result using navigator.pop. So whenever a button is pressed, I call navigator.pop. But this time I just not only pop but return some value to previous screen. That value is received by this method. So it waits for it to return result using navigator.pop and then shows result in a snack bar. This is a future method because we have to wait until that action is taken by user. So this is a asynchronous method that you can see here. Here we receive result which is a sent by pop. Result is await because push selection screen onto the navigation stack. Navigator.push returns future that completes when new screen pops. So here we get whatever value written by that pop. Here I call navigator.push to implement open selection screen. Now first argument is context, second argument is page that we want to open. So it is a selection screen. Now this result is not received until that pop method is called. Remember. Now if the widget was disposed while waiting, that means I close entire app, right? So it never receive any result. So if the widget was disposed while waiting, don't need to update user interface. So if mounted equals false means the widget no longer exists in the tree. Here we write down if not context.mounted, then we need not to display any snack bar or anything, we just return. So next is if it does not return, what does it mean? Actually receives argument from pop. So that we want to display in a snack bar. So here I called scaffold messenger dot off method to display snack bar. But before that we have to remove current snack bar if any. So before show snack bar method is called, we call remove current snack bar, which removes current snack bar if any. If there is no current snack bar, then nothing happen and it directly shows snack bar. If some snack bar is there, it is removed and new snack bar is displayed. Now here we receive result. Whatever result received here will be displayed in a snack bar. Let us understand second screen, which is a detail. So this is my selection screen that you can see here. This is my selection screen. Now this is my constructor and I override build method which returns scaffold. Inside app bar we display text pick an option, and in center of screen we want to display these two buttons. So inside body I write down center, and these two are arranged vertically, so it is a column layout. So we define child column which arrange the button vertically and center them using center. Inside column I specify main axis alignment as a center to display it vertically center. My children are widget list. So first is a padding with padding value 8. First child is elevated button, and whenever it is a click we call navigator.pop. Now remember in previous example we just call navigator.pop and we provide context as argument. But this second is a argument. So whenever I click on that app, what will happen? It will first pop that screen and return me app which is received by this future method, and we receive these inside result, and that is how it will be able to display in snack. We have to just pop screen as usual, but we have to also return some data. So in this case, it is a string which is a button caption and its text is kept that you can see on the screen. Now second, again we use padding with 8 pixel and child is elevated button, and whenever it is pressed, we not only pop but we return its caption which is knob. So friends, this is how our demonstration works. It opens selection screen from home screen, and selection screen display options, and whatever option is selected is written to main screen where we display that value inside snack bar. So friends, I hope you enjoy this session. In this session, we have covered 5 demonstrations. First demonstration demonstrate switching between 2 screens and create simple animation effect using push and pop. In second example, we switch from one screen to another screen using simple push and pop method. In third example, we have used name root to clearly organize our code or simplify the code. It is useful when you want to manage large number of pages. In fourth demonstration, we have learned how to pass data from one screen to another using constructor parameter. And in fifth demonstration, we have learned how to return data from second screen to first. So I request you to carry out all 5 examples yourself. I hope you enjoy this demonstration. Thank you and happy learning.